Now it's very hard to get to talk to a player alone. Um, and in the old days, I got to tell you, and I'm talking Bill Walsh, George Seifert. They used to practice up in Rockland. So they had lunch in a big dining hall, I guess the dining hall for Sierra College. And they had, you'd move your tray across like a buffet. Well, we were part of that. There was a table for the media. Ira Miller sat there. Gary Niver sat there. I sat there. Clark Judge sat there. And we would go over after maybe everyone was done eating and sit with the players and talk to them. And they expected us to be. Bill Walsh would come over and sit with us. He would eat with us. He would talk to us. It was normal and it was collegial. I mean, they hadn't played any games. All we were doing were writing, how they were doing and profiles. And it was really nice. And you didn't have to ask anybody, could I have permission to talk to so and so? I wanted to talk to Steve Young. So I went up to Steve Young. No one got in my way. And I say, Steve, let's talk. Say hello. We'll meet here and we'll talk for 45 minutes.
Mhm.
Dwight Clark, it was nothing. Like now, it's almost like trying to get into the Pentagon, the way I understand it. And I think that a lot has been lost. So I want to tell you one particular story. They had brought Russ Francis into training camp. Russ Francis was a great tight end, but they had Charlie Young, who was a
Mhm.
great tight end, and they were both great guys. I love tight ends. They're the most interesting players on the team, tight ends. And Charlie was pissed because he knew that Bill was going to get rid of him and he was going to keep for us. I liked them both. So I said, hey, Charlie, you want to talk? And he said, yeah, let's take a walk. Iggy, let's take a walk. Is that going to happen in Santa
No,
Clara?
the PR staff
So
wouldn't let it happen.
yeah. So he says, I said, when do you want to take a walk, Charlie? He says, there's a stream down here. You probably don't even know about it. There's a stream. I said, fine. I'm in no hurry. He said, yeah, let's talk by the stream. So here I am with this great tight end. We're walking to the stream. We sit on some rocks, Iggy, like mid afternoon, and he's talking about how he's pissed because he knows that they're going to give it to Russ, and he says, I don't know how Russ is going to turn out. I think he said something like he's going to be like a Mercedes in the burning sands. Rusted out in the burning sands. And then I happened to notice there's a crawfish on one of the lower rocks. So I said, look at that, Charlie. There's a crawfish. And he says, no, that's a lobster. And I said, Charlie, as far as I understand it, crawfish is freshwater and lobsters are saltwater. He says, no, you're wrong. He says, that's a lobster. And for the next few minutes, we had a debate on whether the crawfish was a crawfish or a lobster. So when I wrote my column that day, it was all about lobsters and crawfish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Charlie had such an imagination, and I was always trying to get to the heart of who you are. So I wrote it, and then sometime not long after, I bumped into Charlie. I don't think he was on the Niners anymore, Iggy. And
Mm.
he comes over to me and says, Lowell, it was a lobster.
That's so funny.
It couldn't happen now, Iggy. You
Can I
couldn't
tell
get
you
a
how
lobster.
access has evolved since I've been there? I've been there 15 years. When I first started, you were allowed to. It's a big square, and you're allowed to walk around the perimeter wherever you want to go. There were even like, um, bleachers you could walk on and go up so to get like a higher view. You could go wherever you wanted, and the whole idea was they wanted the media to get the best view possible. They really wanted us to see practice. Over the years, we can't go all around the square anymore. We were limited to two sides. Now we're limited to one side of the square. And now it's so bad that we're on one sideline and they're doing a, 11-on-11 scrimmage. We have to be behind the offense. We're like in a corral to a specific spot. So the offense is here, and then there's all the players and coaches, and then there's us. So we're like looking through people. And it's like, did you see who caught that? Did you see who caught that? Did you see who? It's like we don't really get to see everything like we need to. In addition, they charge fans to come and watch, and then they do the practice like 200 yards away from the fans who paid to watch. I don't understand what the whole thing is about anymore. If you don't want people to go, then don't invite anyone. But I don't know.
Well, what I want to say is, I know what you mean, and it burns me up, but it's not only the 49ers, it's the whole league, Iggy. It's the 49ers are simply doing what they're told to do, what the whole league is doing. It used to be a very media-friendly league. Now it's really media stay away.
Yeah.
And I want to make a point, because you people watching think, oh, the media, who cares about the media? They're a pain in the neck anyway. I got it. You don't like us. I got it. But one of the things we do is we let you know what's going on in these privileged spaces. I would even say sanctified spaces that you can't really go to, the practice field, the locker room, things like that. We perform a service for you that you wouldn't get otherwise. And the league should enable us to do that.
Mhm.
And it's sad that the league that used to be so open is not open anymore. And even, I would say, again, I haven't done this in 7 years, but Major League Baseball and the NBA are still quite welcoming. And, you can talk to Stephen Curry before a game. You can be in the clubhouse before a game talking to people, and after a game. And no one comes over to you and says, time's up if you're talking to a player, or a couple more questions. They don't come over to you at the Giants, at least when I was there, and tell you, if I was interviewing Pablo Sandoval, that I couldn't do it anymore. I would talk to Pablo as long as I needed to. And they would, even if I needed, get an interpreter if I having trouble with them.
The culture in the NFL is to see what the league's rules are, bare minimum for what they have to give media, and to work within those minimum constraints and to find ways to really even give less. So we have to let you out in the field, but let's maybe give them a bad view. You know what I mean? We have to let them interview people, but let's cut off the interview after 4 minutes. We fulfilled our obligation.
Yeah,
but we're really just actually trying to frustrate you and not actually enable you to do your job.
Iggy, in the years past when I did it, and this is during the regular season, at the end of a practice, we'd be out there and players would walk off the field. And I feel, and not only me, we felt quite comfortable to walk up to a player as he was going toward the locker room. Steve Young, I mean, name it. Say, Steve, I know you have to go in the locker room. I have a few questions. Can you give me 4 minutes? Whatever you need, Lowell. It was normal. Iggy, you can't do that anymore, right?
No, now you would have to go to not the PR director, because the PR director wouldn't want to be wouldn't want to do that, but they'd probably delegate it to someone else in the PR staff who's like 25, and you'd need that person to go talk to the player for you. You couldn't do it yourself. Wait.
And the player, the PR guy, might not have his heart into it,
right?
And he might even be. It's all right. And he might even be a little intimidated by the players, whereas a journalist wouldn't be. A journalist would go up and say, you got a few minutes. Can you imagine Jerry McDonald down there? You think he's afraid to go up to any player?
No.
He's talked to a million players.
Yeah.
More famous than are on the Niners right now, Jerry McDonald. And he doesn't need anyone to intercede for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that rant.
Yeah. Yeah. Also one more thing, and then we'll go. It used to be, not even that long ago, 5 years ago, you would get to camp and the media would be notified before practice started with an email. These are the players who aren't going to be out there today. And here's why. Don't ask. We'll let you know. Don't speculate in your blogs or your streams or your columns. Here's the information. Now we walk out there and it's like, hey, I guess Ricky Pearsall isn't here. Hey, what's up with Ricky? Oh, you don't know? Okay. Like, Diamador Lenore wasn't there. Why? You don't know? Okay. Well, that'd be kind of. So now we have to tell all the Niner fans, hey, Lenore wasn't there. It might be serious. He might be hurt. It might be legal. It might be nothing. Why is that good for the team? You know. So tell us. I don't understand. Other than that, I think they're doing a great job. Love training camp. Having a great job. Having a great time at training camp. The food is good. I gotta say, they bring in these little sandwiches every day. Today was prosciutto, Dad. Prosciutto, and I want to say like sun-dried tomatoes with a little bit of pesto is nice.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah. They have fruit cups in the morning. I feel well fed there. It's nice.
I like a fruit cup.
I can't see practice per se, but I'm not hungry. I like that.
All right.
Can you ask the org what's happening with Matos? I asked. They said knee. Sorry. Not laughing at him. It's just another guy who's hurt and never gets healthy on this team. But maybe the next one. I don't know. Dad, I love you.
I love you. This was a lot of fun. We got our yayas out.
I'll be back tomorrow, day off, but I'll be around. See you guys.